Hey, YouTube, hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey, Kai here checking in with another video. Hey, today, hey, we back with American Confidential. Hey, this video right here, Backdoor 30K robbery that started the Uptown war. Let's go and get into this video.
Police are on the scene of a homicide in Mount Airy.
Philadelphia police tonight are investigating a deadly shooting in East Mount Airy.
A cleanup job Helena Reed never expected. The back window of her car shot out. Her glass front door shattered too. Both hit by stray gunfire early Thursday morning.
And I just heard, I think it's sad that we have to go through that and you can't even be safe in your own home.
Police say the violence erupted.
Hey, y'all know I be doing a lot of pauses and stuff, but she right though, like, the way that y'all be setting up these crimes and shit like that, like, it's really, like, senseless, of course, but it's like, y'all not even having no real respect for regular individuals. Like, her car window and her door. Imagine if she's standing right there. I seen she had a dog. Imagine if the dog was standing right there. Imagine if a kid was standing right there. Like, it's so many variables, but it's like, if I bought a house in this neighborhood, and remind you, a lot of these people buy these houses before these generations come, because it comes 10 generations. Like, it come every 10 years. Oh, this is the next generation. This is the next generation. This is the next generation, and it's like, imagine if you bought your house. She a little older, so let's say she bought her house 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It wasn't really no crime like that in these areas. And then it's like 10 years later, it get a little worse. 10 years later from that just leave it. I'm like, so now she probably looking like, what the fuck? Like, where's all this crime coming from? So now, like I said, like, it's really like senseless. Like, you could have hit him up on Instagram and said, hey, let's meet up. Let's meet up somewhere.
Just outside of Reed's home on the 1200 block of Easton Road in Stenton around 12:30. Investigators say the gunman fired at least 33 times at a man who was driving in the area. Surveillance video captured what happened moments later. The shooting victim crashed 2 blocks away. The chain reaction impact spotted at the intersection of Easton and Lober. That surveillance video came from this 24-hour gas station.
You know it's lit. That's why shitting and resting in piss. It's 3 dead niggas in the split. Mike, Lil, Steve.
Backdoor robbery, whispers about a drop, and one night at the Getty changed everything. 15 shots later, and the whole neighborhood was at war. This is the real story of how the streets of Uptown Philly turned friends into enemies. Some grew up in the same houses, played on the same football and basketball teams, and ate at the same tables. But when money, pride, and betrayal entered the picture, those bonds broke. What started as a robbery turned into funerals, murders at vigils, and a war that swallowed everyone in its path.
Teenager is the victim of a deadly shooting in East Germantown.
Y'all be capping, y'all rap, y'all some actors. Glizzy killer dead, we the big get backers. Hole in his fitted cap, he a big cap. Man, all y'all homies dead, y'all ain't never been a factor.
A man is shot to death. It happened around 11 o'clock last night at East Duval and Morton Streets. Police arrived and found the victim shot multiple times. Investigators located more than 40 shell casings.
In that V, I'm spilling blood for Ski Man, that was my rock.
It is upgrading and adding security cameras to this corridor, and we want to promote Vernon Road as one of the safest neighborhood commercial corridors in our city.
In East Mount Airy, police say a 28-year-old man was killed execution style near his front door on the 800 block of Vernon Road.
I got homies from the 5 that's always trying to crack a 6. I'm the face of Vernon Road, so don't get caught up in the mix.
EBK, nigga. Everybody K. 1500K, WSMK, 1400. You could be the next K.
Good evening. This happened recently in a North Philadelphia neighborhood. A white neighborhood which suddenly found itself with a stranger in its midst. A Negro who tried to occupy this house. This was the result. One of the most delicate and dangerous problems in human relations faced by the community as a whole.
Real estate is the backbone of U.S. wealth building because it's said to be widely accessible. It's supposed to appreciate over time and can be passed across generations. At the same time, unequal access to homeownership is one of the strongest drivers of the racial wealth gap and broader inequality in America to this day. Home equity makes up the bulk of middle-class wealth. Unlike stocks or business ownership, which are more common among the wealthy, real estate is the most accessible form of long-term investment for the average household. In the 1950s, realtors used blockbusting, leveraging maps like the HOLCs to instill fear in white homeowners by claiming that their neighborhoods were, quote, turning black. These tactics coerced some white people into selling their homes cheaply, which realtors then resold to black families migrating north, including to areas like Germantown.
Hungry Root is here, and I needed it because my fridge is super empty. I'm gonna open the box.
Migration that is coming into the city comes from the rural areas. The largest reservoir of such population is in the south. People there, white and Negro, are moving off of the farms and into our city. Into Philadelphia are coming large numbers of Negroes, seeking jobs, seeking to improve their way of life, a better way of life for their children.
As black families started to move into Mount Airy during the 1950s through the 70s, some white residents left for the suburbs while some stayed. That population shift reduced the local tax base and weakened the commercial corridors since many longtime customers and their dollars left.
But about 17% of all Philadelphia Negro families are still occupying dilapidated dwellings. In a word, slums. And here is born the driving need for a change.
By one, I mean people in panic, listing their property for sale, selling for almost any price, and moving away. By staying, I mean people who get together, meet their new neighbors, make friends.
One of the neighborhoods in which this change has been accomplished with a minimum of bitterness is tree-shaded East Johnson Street in Germantown. This is frankly a mixed block. And according to Mrs. Jane Wilhelm of 202 East Johnson, the change in itself need hold no terror.
Yes, we knew that there were Negro families living in the block below this block, but we wanted to live here in this neighborhood and particularly in this house.
And that's and that's how it be too. Like I said, a lot of people buy like they dream homes. Like this their dream home. You think I'm about to move because some black people came here? No. And like I tell y'all all the time, just because black people are in these neighborhoods, they not bothering no white people. I'm like, you know that now. Like even where I'm at, like where I live at, it's mixed. Like it's black and whites that live in my neighborhood. Literally on my same street, it's black and whites. The black kids, they ain't fucking with them white people, bro. One, people got enough sense to know that if I do anything to this white person, bro, I'm getting, like, they gonna overcook my ass. Like, I'm talking about burnt roast. Like, they're gonna overcook you. And two, like, what has a white person done to me that I gotta bother them for? You feel me? That's the mentality of a black person. A normalized black person. You got motherfuckers that's off the grid. We ain't talking about nobody off the grid. We talking about people that got sense. But yeah, they not gonna move out. Like, what am I moving for? They ain't did nothing to me. And we really ain't got to intermingle anyway. You live right here, I live right here. As long as you being respectful and I'm being respectful, we ain't gotta ever like have no conversation anyway. It come down to like people driving on the street with them loud ass cars. Your music is too loud. You having these big ass block parties. situations like that that'll turn your neighbor off. But yeah, nah, there's no point in somebody moving just because they saying, oh, this person's coming or these people are moving in. Was my house before they came here, so what the fuck does that mean? But it's up to us to keep the community how we want to keep the community.
We have new neighbors on both sides of us, too. One of them is colored and the other is white. Across the street, they're all Negroes.
What were some of the fears voiced by your white neighbors who moved away?
Chiefly, they were afraid of the property values. They, first off, they wanted to be sure that they got all the money that they could out of their properties. And that they felt that the property would depreciate the minute that the Negroes moved in. Well, in any kind of situation where new people move into a neighborhood, there is getting to know people. And our present neighbors we had to get to know them too, learn how they manage their children, whether they were interested in the community activities, such as our neighborhood organization, and whether they were aware of the need to cooperate.
How about the children? Have they had any trouble adjusting to their new neighbors?
As far as I can tell, none at all. The children have played together as children do, with no consideration of the fact that it's a mixed group of children.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Children don't see color. Like, children don't see racism. We all know that. Like, that's like a real deal fact from birth. They do not see it. That's why, like I said, we all got children. The children go to daycare. They not looking at white, black, Chinese, such and such, such and such, such and such. They're not looking at that. Hey, we all playing. This my friend. Like, the racism comes in households. It's taught in households. It's taught from what they see from their parents. If their parents saying, honey, them blacks out there, woo woo. No, the kid is saying what their mom is saying, what their dad is saying. Them blacks, woo. Same thing, vice versa with whites. Man, them whites, woo. Yeah, them whites, woo. So now they looking at it like, it's a black and white issue. No, y'all gotta stop grouping people together. It is a one individual, another individual. Y'all have conflict. It's not a one individual. Now that one individual don't like a group of people. No, you got a problem with that one person. That's what I hate about society. Y'all keep grouping everybody together. No, motherfucker, you got an issue with this one person. You got an issue with him or her. Don't keep grouping everybody together based upon them. Like me, I don't have no racism bone in my body. I don't see race, bro. I got an issue with a person, what you done to me. Period. I don't give a fuck about the color. The color don't mean nothing. Are you a good person? Is your heart pure? Are you an evil person? Are you corrupt? That's it. It's two people in life. You got good and evil. And it's always going to be like that. It's no in-betweens. Is your heart pure? Do you do things out of generosity? Without, I'm genuinely doing this because I don't want nothing in return. I just want to help you. Like, you my friend. Such and such. Like, it's no ulterior motive. Or you got people that do shit, just wave it in your face. Hey, I did this for you. Remember I did this for you. Remember I gave you that? Remember I did that? Remember I did that? Or, like, you got two different type of peoples. And like I said, y'all be judging people based upon one interaction. That one interaction was with one person. Don't group everybody together based upon that one person. That one person, I don't even know that one person. Like, I'm black. Don't group me what you see from another black person. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And people do that shit all the time based upon my tattoos. They judge a nigga off the tattoos, the dreads. Bro, you don't fucking know me, bro. How can you even, like, I'm not judging you based upon, you might have long hair, tattoos. I'm not saying, is he a redneck? Is he a racist? Like, bro, that ain't none of my business, bro. It's the interaction. Is you cool or you not? That's it. Anything else, you judge a person based upon your interaction with somebody else. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know you.
Down the street at 272 East Johnson, we then talk to Mrs. Theodore Perkins, one of the newcomers.
Mrs. Perkins, when did you and your husband move to Johnson Street?
About 2.5 years ago.
About 2.5 years ago. Where had you been living before that?
We had been living on 47th Street.
47th Street?
Yes.
You were among the first of the Negro families to move to Johnson Street, were you not?
Yes, we were.
How many have preceded you?
2 families.
What difficulties had they had?
I would say that their difficulties were minor, but they did have some, such as instances where a window might be broken or trash burning.
In other words, vandalism.
Yes.
But still overt acts of hostility.
Yes.
What problems have arisen from your experience in living in a so-called mixed neighborhood?
Away, get a home of your own where you'll have a place for the youngsters.
Yes, it is.
Have you done much looking around, Mr. Bagwell, for a place? Well, no, not since I got this place. What I want to do is buy a home instead of rent. Right now, I'm not able to get a house right now.
When and if Mr. Bagwell is able to buy a house, he will find that his choice is limited almost exclusively to second-hand homes. For in the 7 years between 1946 and 1953, only 45 new homes in all of Philadelphia were offered for sale to Negroes.
From the 70s through the early 90s, Philadelphia as a whole faced a crippling financial crisis triggered by industries leaving the city and the loss of middle-class taxpayers themselves, expensive union contracts, and ongoing financial mismanagement. This turmoil drove the city to the brink of bankruptcy by 1990-91. As a result of prolonged austerity, critical public services like sanitation, policing, and street maintenance were sharply cut, leaving neighborhoods such as Germantown and Mount Airy, particularly their commercial areas, to feel the brunt of this neglect. As for blockbusting itself, the practice was eventually outlawed and had all but entirely disappeared from the city by around 1980. Since then, many neighborhoods victimized by redlining and blockbusting have managed to overcome those obstacles to varying degrees of success. There's no official boundary between Mount Airy and Germantown. The most common consensus is that Johnson Street is a de facto boundary. However, others consider Washington Lane to be Mount Airy's southern edge. The question is moot, however, as the two neighborhoods blend together very gradually. 99% of the kids and teenagers in Uptown are going to school, playing sports, and graduating high school. Schools like Mastery Charter Pickett boast a 95% graduation rate, and Lincoln High School, which is in Roxborough but attended by a lot of people from Uptown, boasts a 100% graduation rate. Central High, which is on the outskirts of Mount Airy, is a top-ranked school in the area. Graduates from Central attend some of the nation's most selective colleges. And Masterman, the best school in the city with a highly selective 3% acceptance rate, has a good amount of students from Uptown. But there are a few that get lost in the shuffle of having to survive in Philly. Now, before we get into this, I want to clarify that I was not there for any of these events I'm about to talk about, obviously. A lot of this is street rumors and innuendo.
You right, we ain't do that. He almost got his head smashed in. Just got your gun took at the train station, bro.
Your man got shot under the train, 15th Street, bro. Come on, let's talk,
That
bro.
wasn't true.
Your man got shot at 15th Street by a 14-year-old, bro.
That wasn't true.
As we know, there'll be teenagers that don't live by society's rules. For one reason or another, whether it be absent parents, poverty, or personality disorders, and untreated mental health issues, some slip through the cracks. Teenagers left to their own devices will find a way to make trouble or have it find them. Drug dealing is the easiest way to make a quick, profitable business. Without the headaches of the bureaucracy of a legal business, a drug business can be established in a day. The people in our video today would start their story that way.
Look, fuck, I be get put on the poster. Keep a Glock on my hip, ain't no holster. Ain't no left for a thought like I'm Sosa. We gon' slide through his block with a toaster. Extra clip like we shooting a movie. I got nose in the cup with the Uzi. She get wet like she in the jacuzzi. When I'm high off the lean, I get groovy. And y'all know how we bumming. Y'all niggas is pussy little niggas, so why would you try me? When those shooters, they owe me a favor. I give them your name and they catching a body. And I'm about to get rich, so don't jump on my dick. I'ma grab me a portion of Mozzie. I might catch me a lick and get back on my shit.
Glizzy was from around the 6600 block of Chew and Sharpneck or Johnson. That area is called Dogtown. The young boys coming from this beef called themselves the Sixers and would click up with Chew and Shelton and the P&B young boys. Collectively, they would all call themselves the Torturers. Hop Out Blick rapped about this beef a lot, even though it was from before he was even known for real. You could find Glizzy at the deli, down Chew and Sharpneck a lot. He played for the Mount Airy Bantams as a young boy. As a teenager, he was a small-time trapper from his area. The area in Uptown that we are speaking of is very small compared to the rest of the city. Hood politics up here is different than the rest of Philly as well. Allegiances are very tenuous since there aren't any well-established gangs that stretch back decades like in, say, North and South Philly. But much like the rest of the city, everyone knew each other, or at least knew of each other. Ski was from over the other side of Stanton Ave. He was a mid-level trapper but was extremely militant about saving his money. His mom caught wind of his drug dealing ways and kicked him out of the house unless he stopped. To him, trapping was working out so far, so much so that he was probably making more than his mom at this point. By that time, he was 18, so he left. But much like a lot of unfocused 18-year-olds, his mind was strictly on his money. So much so that he didn't even get a spot of his own. He crashed with family and what he thought were friends at the time. Ski paid his way and was taking care of himself. Zay, his cousins, was Neefy from Dogtown. Neefy claimed the Sixers. Ski ended up staying with Zay and his grandma, who was also Neefy's grandma. Zay saw the amount of money Ski was making and thoughts started swirling in his head. The streets talked. Rumors started to swirl about how much money Ski was actually making, and eventually the situation reached Glizzy's ears.
Yeah, pocket watching, man. Hey, pocket watching is crazy, bro. This is why I don't be around niggas, man. Like, pocket watching. Niggas be too envious. Niggas be too jealous of whatever the fuck you got going on. I say this all the time. We all got the same 24 hours. What's working out for the next man might not work out for you. But until you actually learn how to hustle, and no, I'm not talking about grind. I'm not talking about foot the pavement. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about whatever your hustle is. Until you learn how to hustle for yourself and have focus and discipline for yourself, you're gonna always end up in a situation of watching the next man, hating on the next man. That nigga ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. His hustle and his grind ain't got nothing to do with you. Y'all be too dick pulling, y'all be dicked out, watching the next man. Bro, we have the same 24 hours, bro. Get the fuck off your ass and go figure out some shit. Go read a book. Go learn a skill. Go learn a real skill. That shit'll pay you. Niggas will pay for the information that you have. You ain't gotta sit around and hate on the next man or watch the next man and then hate on him. No, you figure out your skill sets and you build your skill sets. That's what's wrong. A lot of y'all kids don't even know how to have conversations. Conversation, the art of conversation is not even here anymore. You talk to these kids, one word answers. Damn near giving illiterate. Damn near giving, they don't even look you in your eyes. You'll be like, what the hell? Where's the conversation? The conversation base be so minute. It's so limited. The conversation is so limited that it's yeah, I can't even have a conversation with you. And I think that's why, a lot of the older generation, dudes in their 40s, 50s, don't even have a conversation with the young dudes because the young dudes don't want to retain the information that they're hearing. Not knowing that, hey, They was like the 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds was just, they was 18 before. So they honestly had the knowledge to help you grow, help you get out of your situation. All you got to do is just take heed to what a person is telling you and start, instead of you saying, hey, what do they know? Bro, everybody was 18 before. Everybody was 16 before. Like, we understand. You ain't the only one that's 16. You're not going to be the first person that's 16. You're not going to be the last person that's 16.
Allegedly, according to street rumors, Zay called Glizzy and told a couple people that Ski had thousands in the safe in the basement. Glizzy hatched a plan to rob Ski with someone else at the grandma's house. Glizzy was hesitant at first, knowing the backlash and blowback that would come from stealing a large amount of cash from someone. He did his calculations and figured it was worth it, and Ski wouldn't do much about it. This was the worst miscalculation he could have made. After the robbery, the home invasion reeked of a backdoor. The robbers knew exactly where the money was, in the basement.
I'ma grab me a portion of Mozzie. I might catch me a lick and get back on my shit and just go do a drill in a Johnny. Then it's back to the 6, throw the gas in the whip, then we use them again if they try me. Hey, that's my doggy, I know he gon' fucking end him. A nigga trip, I bend him. Hey bro, he fucking we keep spinning till we catch a nigga. 50 in my Glock, keep shooting till I stretch a nigga. Catch him, let it pop, my dog's gon' go and fetch a nigga. Let that semi pop, my pistol giving lectures, nigga.
Ski's first reaction was calm. He figured he'd make the money back, although he wanted instant revenge, steadily plotting on how he would get it. Homies told him to chill and wait it out. No blood had been shed as of yet, but as news of the robbery spread, it was definitely time for people to pick a side. St. Raymond's, Lee's, and Edmonds, all names of schools that most people from this story attended. Football, basketball, baseball, boxing, high school, this is where all these guys knew each other from. In the days and weeks after the robbery, instead of laying low, Glizzy flaunted the money and taunted Ski on YouTube and Instagram, and by extension, most of that side of Stanton Ave. One day, Ski was trapping at the Getty at Mount Airy and Lober. This was his main trap spot. A lot of traffic and no cameras at the time. It was the perfect place to make some money, in his mind. On this particular day, in October of 2020, Ski bumped into Glizzy and Glizzy's man, Nails, as they went into the gas station. At this moment, Ski had already decided that the disrespect had gone too far, but actually seeing Glizzy in person had him steaming. At this time in 2020, it was still a Getty gas station. It's now Liberty Gas or something like that, but people from the area still call it the Getty. There wasn't a camera at this particular Getty at this time. Ski hid behind the yellow Goodwill donation bins and waited for Glizzy to come out the store. According to PhillyUnsolvedMurders.com, Yusuf Nash, or Glizzy, was shot on the 1000 block of East Mount Airy Ave on Saturday, October 17, 2020. At 9:30 p.m., Philadelphia police officers responded to the scene and found Glizzy lying in the street. He was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Glizzy was transported to Albert Einstein Medical Center, where he died that night. Yusuf Nash, who was 20 at the time, resided on the 6000 block of Chew Avenue, according to police.
Swap, we caught the 6 was out of bounds, so we had cracked it. How the fuck you think that nigga Glizzy got a closed casket? 15 to the face, 1 to the hand, bitch, nigga dropped his ratchet. I took his high, I'm the biggest backdoor, so don't be trying to my block. Scared, left a nigga face down, put 15 in his top. Hit his homie in his hand, he wasn't trying to bang his high. 19 next, this bitch got button, this bitch sticking on my shirt. I back the 6, I'm hopping out, think I seen Glizzy on his shirt. Yo, bro, we in the track, this ain't no scat. Bro, it ain't no looking back. Broski rolling up some pack. Got Glizzy smelling like some thrack. 4 pound that put him on his back. Nails that guy, hey, come get back. Mix and stir with Chucky Lack. Every week, that's a new pack.
When Ski saw Glizzy coming out of the store, he walked him down and hit him 15 times. Glizzy was with Nails. Ski chased Glizzy and Nails back to the car. Nails was shot in his hand. Ski tossed a gat in a trash can and ran to the crib, or so the story was told. Ski called a couple people, including Mikey, who went to grab it from the trash can. Rumors started swirling that Neefy had made the call to give Glizzy's drop up. These rumors were unsubstantiated, but went to show that this was pick a side time. At this time, you had 1400 Vernon Road, 1500 Wadsworth, and even some young boys from core side of Vernon Road on one side, and P&B and Dogtown on the other.
What's this up? Ain't no copping, please. Fuck your bitch for the drop, got what I need. Niggas keep talking about bodies. I put the 4 on the mat. I carry the 4 on my bag.
This was before all the names was being said in songs, and while drill music in Philly was picking up. As people like Hop Out Blick and YBC Duel used the violence around them to make music years later down the line, around this time is when a lot of the violence that's rapped about today was actually taking place. Many of the people who died in this war weren't actually rappers. They, however, are rapped about heavily to this day. So remember that as we go through this story. Speaking of rumors, when Glizzy robbed Ski, it was rumored that Neefy gave up the info that led Glizzy to the house. Neefy steadfastly denied all the rumors. He was so confident in his denials that he attended Glizzy's vigil. According to PhillyUnsolvedMurders.com, Hanif Bowles was shot on the 500 block of East Duval Street on Saturday, October 24, 2020 at 12:22 a.m. Philadelphia police officers responded to the scene and located Hanif lying next to a white 2015 Ford Edge. Medics arrived at the scene and then confirmed that Hanif had died. If you notice, October 24th is exactly 1 week after Glizzy was killed. That's 2 young men killed in 1 week, allegedly behind this robbery. And if you know anything about the streets, then you know things can go 1 or 2 ways from here. The police can arrest the murderers and the beef will more than likely die down. Or the murderers can be allowed to roam free throughout the community. And then we can have the community deal with it themselves. Often throughout America, a population's cooperation with police largely depends on their trust of the police. While most Black Americans, according to a Gallup poll, are confident in police and are satisfied with community relations, they lag behind whites significantly and are 10 to 15 points behind the national average.
Never in the history of Philadelphia did the community trust the police or the police trust the community.
Although those numbers have been increasing over the last few years, which might be a good sign. Michael Meredith would be the next victim of violence related to this beef. He was from 1500 Wadsworth, and he was cool with mostly everybody from Uptown. This story gets sadder when you learn that a lot of these guys were family. He would be with Ski and Ryan all the time, trapping and getting money. He was quiet and laid back and kept to himself. On the day he died, Philly was in a deep winter freeze. After a February snowstorm, Mike had to dig his car out, so he went out to shovel and was seen by his ops. A week before his death, Mikey had gotten into a shootout. He had a legal registered firearm, but he wasn't licensed to carry. He was arrested for this incident and bailed out. Mikey didn't really get into the dissing and the trolling, but he was associated, and that was enough for him to be targeted. Like I mentioned before, these guys were all from Uptown, and this all started over an alleged $30,000 robbery. Sides were being picked, even though East Side and West Side already had beef. Ski went to school at Fells with Sear a few years back. Sear is from 1400 Vernon with NLB Sill and Reek and Chant and a wild young boy Ryan. Went to FS Edmonds and Roxborough. Dropped out in the 10th grade when the beef turned up and his life was starting to be threatened. Ryan never saw his father and lived with his mom and his grandma. His step-pop was around. He played football for the Mount Airy Bantams and met Ski when they were in the 3rd grade. Ryan used to be cool with people over east, like Leafy, Clay, and Lil J.
Jump out crazy, we gon' jump out crazy. From that 6 side, I be with my torches. I done sent them shots at both sides.
He used to hoop at the Mount Pleasant playground up until the beef turned up in 2020. In 2022, a fight surfaced on the internet of people who claimed either Sixers or Say Slide, I forget. They punched on Ryan at Only Terminal. Ryan got jumped and lost his pole that day.
What, nigga? Go ahead, what, nigga? What, nigga? Go ahead. Go ahead. Track star. Fuck wrong with nigga? You tripping. Track star, nigga. Keep running, nigga.
In 2023,
Why? I don't understand. Like, see, I'm big on like observing. I did this shit on a train with cameras at. Like, I'm big on like when I step in rooms, bro. I be like peeping everything. I peep all the cameras at. Like, who the fuck? Like, what? Hell nah. But that's the thing, like, y'all want to keep making diss songs and dissing niggas and shit like that. That just come with it. You gotta realize people love these people, bruh. And it's just, when you put stuff in the air, stuff come to you. That's just what happens, man.
Ron started dropping music talking about the war. There was an argument posted to YouTube like 3 years ago when he was arguing with Hop Out Blick when I first heard of him.
Bro. You any nigga,
That's your
you
homie.
a fan.
I didn't
He got a
think we
Los
did that. That's your
Angeles,
homie.
bro. That don't got nothing to do with no Philly beef, bro.
Shit.
You
Y'all know what we doing to y'all though. What y'all? Like y'all don't got no bees, bro.
You a bitch, bro.
Y'all never caught nothing, bro.
Yes.
Y'all never did nothing to none
Yes,
of my homies, bro.
we
What
shit,
y'all,
nigga,
what y'all
go
do to any of my
viral.
homies, bro?
We go viral and hit.
Y'all never did shit on my homies,
Yes, we did.
bro. Y'all didn't.
We cooked the nigga you post.
Y'all never did nothing this game.
Yeah, you post Mikey.
Y'all didn't do that. Stop claiming another nigga. Stop claiming another nigga wreck, bro. That's not y'all wreck, bro. That's not P&B wreck, bro.
Bro, we fried your man, bro. That's
Dogtown wreck, bro. Stop claiming P&B wreck, bro.
We fried your man. Bro, a torture fry him, bro. A torture fry him.
I guess, bro.
On the
I guess, bro. And your man Clay was supposed to come outside, but he let a bitch die. That's wild. The fuck, bro?
Ski, for a few months after the passing of Glizzy and Neef, played it cool. He continued to sell his weed and make his couple dollars, although he would be trolling. The whole time, Dogtown was trying to catch up with him. Glizzy was killed in October. By May of 2021, they would catch up with him. Khalil Burgess, 18, a passenger in the rear driver's side seat, was shot fatally in the head. Nazir Vizi, 19, or Ski, who was in the rear passenger side seat, was fatally shot multiple times in his torso. He was pronounced dead at 3:30 a.m. that Monday in May of 2021. The third victim, an 18-year-old man who was in the front passenger seat, survived a gunshot wound to his left arm. The lone gunman was in a car that pulled along the knee side and opened fire, police said.
A lot of sticks, a lot of clips, and plus we like to walk in with some confidence. Get hawked down cause he tried to diss. He talk now cause he tried to diss. You know we slide for Glizzy, watch your mouth and use some common sense. We did that hit, it's obvious, bro, up the score is positive. Watch I take off like rocket ships, big gun, 2 beams, I'm not gonna miss. Gonna shoot out the wheel because the Draco got some kick. No doing hits off for no pills, I like to see his top get split. Like where the 5 at, I'm trying blitz. Lil Skeezy got left in that whip. Said they want smoke, then you know it's lit. That's why shit and them resting in piss. It's 3 dead niggas in the split. Mike, Lil Skeezy, sit. Cut the brakes when we hop out the whip. Miss, this goods and that boy got a dish. Lil Ron made a diss and was missing. Swear to God we ain't killing no children. They took his gun, could've made him a victim. Steph, dissing on Brody, we put him to rest. Yeah, no vest. That's why Lil Ski like got hit in his chest. Stop they piece. Where your man at? Oh, he's 6 feet. Not gonna talk about how she got caught in the bitch seat. All the ops broke, they talk a lot, and you know that shit cheap. Brody still on the strip with a stick that can flip Jeeps. Made a come up, they on my line, and that bitch tryna fold. The ski runs on the way, that's how we get all kinds of money. Niggas dissing Glizzy name, but y'all know y'all niggas was high. And he got some niggas slime for him. We up the scores, rising for him. Y'all be capping, y'all rap, y'all some actors. Glizzy killer dead, we the big get backers. Hole in his fitted cap, he a big cap. Man, all y'all homies dead, y'all ain't never been a factor. Call up, bro, he got one. That nigga spinning solo with his range like a layup. Y'all be shooting from the logo with it. All the section 8ers caught his ass, cooked that nigga, and his folks was devastated. Talking about it, get back, your man soul been levitating. Smoke the mic up while we lurking, man's gon' look like niggas purging. They see Brody and get nervous, body shaking, stomach turning. Run up, we gon' close the curtain. Got little shooters, they still learn. Drop a bag, they gon' go earn it. Slide with sticks like Timmy Turner.
Allegedly, Ski's girl at the time was in the car as well. I couldn't confirm this, but the streets stick to this version of events. This killing might have been a setup. The driver was said to have followed people from Dogtown on Instagram and was one of 2 people of the 5 in the car not shot. Khalil Burgess, or Lil, wasn't too deep in. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Ski was getting his car tinted in North Philly when the shooting happened. After the death of Glizzy, Ski and the people around him, including Ron, were doing a lot of trolling. And the whole trolling thing seemed to catch up with him.
Clump my Subies chunky, I be walking with a wham. When we bent, he wasn't out, so I'm like, fuck it, get his man. How about that car and let it fly? When he fall, I hit his head. 50 popping out your bushes, trying to put some shit to bed. Ask around, they know about us, so I only speak on shit we did. 2 sturdy died, so we turned up, you know we had, got back for that.
Niggas just don't ball, we masked up and start hoop.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view.
August of 2021, police say an 18-year-old was shot and killed in Philadelphia's East Monterey neighborhood. It happened on the 6700 block of Musgrave Street just before 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Police identified the teen as Lionel Samuels, or Too Sturdy, or as they called him, Sturd-Ball. When police arrived, they found him in the courtyard of Simon Garden Apartments with gunshot wounds to the stomach and back. Teens with no outlet for anger, no guidance, and a false sense of invincibility leads to years-long wars like this. This beef is still playing out to this day. People like Chucky, Leafy, Tino, and the girl Carissa we will speak of in part 2. Also, we will get more into how PMB plays into this. Expect that video before the end of September. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.
Hey, see y'all in the next video.